We can jump into the questions. We'll talk about offers to owners a little bit later. We are solving all of the issues that we have ever had with completing a mailer and a mail campaign.
hmm There you
And we're
go.
pretty excited about it.
So I was going to share too that I was wondering how you guys thought of last week's live little thing that we did from the where we're at the podcast convention. I don't know if you guys thought anything about that. Thought that was good, bad, or awful. Let me know. I thought it was very funny. So for those of you who didn't know this, so last week Jack and I did our show live from Anaheim at the convention center there at a big podcast convention, which is really cool for our show because we're getting ready to launch a new show and all good stuff. Anyway, it was funny because the room in the back was it Dave? Somebody said, "You guys had a job fair. Is this not working out?" Because that's kind of what it looked like with all the booths and everything. So anyway,
Exactly.
it was really good. So let's go ahead. We're gonna jump in and answer questions. We'll do that now, and we'll start answering questions. If you have questions, please put them in the Q&A box for Jack and I to cover. And then of course the chat there is as you think it is. Just chat away there for all of you. Okay, so good. Live was fun. Didn't miss a beat. Thanks, Rod.
And anything you've ever wanted to know about sending mail or offers that we really haven't talked about, please bring it up today because we really are ready to launch. We're like minutes away from launching offers to owners.
Mhm. Exactly. Okay, so let's jump in here. Jared asks, "Hey, do you ever follow up on a potential buyer or seller? If so, how often? For example, I made an offer and this young lady said she needs to talk to her father. Do you follow up ever or do you just go to the next deal?" Hmm. You know what? You want to answer this, Jack? You want me to?
Go ahead, Jill.
Okay. It depends on the property and how bad I kind of want it. Honestly, I mean, there's times that I might go, "This one's awesome," and she sounds like if she's saying, "You know what, this all sounds good to me, and I really like it," and I'm like, "Oh boy, I want this one," and she says, "But I have to check with my dad, and he gets back in town Friday," then I might circle back around
Oh, yeah.
and call her back. But
Every time I buy something, I have to say I have to check with Jill first.
yeah,
So
every time.
I get it.
Yeah, that's normal. Not. So anyway. So I might, but do I roll that in to my thing? You know what, Jared? I got to be honest with you. Sometimes I might. There's times that I might circle back around. Maybe I have some time to kill, surprisingly, and I would actually go down the list and say, whatever happened to that person, and if they still want to sell. And sometimes too, after a month, and they've thought about it, no one else
Uh-huh.
has
Right.
contacted them, they've softened up and they're like, I thought about your offer. I was kind of waiting to see. And you know what? I am going to take your offer. Yeah. Thank you.
You know what sentence I love? And I use it once in a while, not too often, but sometimes
Don't
people
do that. Just kidding.
people do it to me about sales and stuff, and I really respect it. All kidding aside,
Okay.
when someone says, "Look, I love it. I love the product, and I love what you guys are doing here, or I love the piece of property, and it makes a lot of sense for us." But I'm not the kind of person that makes a decision on the fly, so I'm going to sleep on it, and I'll give you a call tomorrow. And 9 times out of 10, they do. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually do that. I don't make a decision immediately either
Mm-hmm.
because I've made too many bad ones that way. So I think if they have to check with their people in their life, I think it's a good thing.
Yes, especially if they're on the deed. Right.
It's my 6-year-old was drunk last night, and I bought it on accident. That's the one I can't get past.
Yeah. That's so funny. I love those. I still think we should make a little eBay forum for just those things because it's funny. Okay.
Do I have to turn this off, Joe?
Yep. And then I posted my, I got that. So I sent that. You're on my radar, Jason or Jared. I'll get back to you on that one.
Jared has a fantastic appraisal story on land investors, which we won't go through now, but it's really worth. Did we talk about it on the show? I think we did
I don't know.
on a podcast that we recorded that hasn't aired yet. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out on Land Investors. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got your message, Jared, and I sent it to Jack and I told him, tell me when and I'll get you scheduled. So thank you. All right. Farron asks, offers are flowing in at such a rate that we're really wondering how Luke Smith and other power players can keep it organized. And I have to say, I already saw Luke put a little comment over in the chat. Just said call after call after call, lots of spreadsheets, sort them and hit the best. Yeah. This is good. You want a lot to come in at one time too, because then you can line them up like Luke is talking about and take the best ones.
Yeah. Low hanging fruit.
Exactly. Meenam asks, hey Jack, I want to thank you for replying to my thread regarding the RealQuest Pro access. To be honest, delusional, deceiving, conniving, selfish freeloaders like me
No.
don't deserve to be part of your group, and I
No.
knock it off. And I appreciate your honesty. I love you, Jack, and I'll see. Well, what about me? Just kidding. And I'll see if I can continue with the land efforts without causing too much. It's causing all this mischief in your wonderful community. Take care. You're all good. That's funny.
Meaning there's always a place for you here.
Yeah. Hey, so flip some. You know what? Here's a good thing. This is what a lot of people have done. A lot of people have been flies on the wall, following us wherever they found us, Bigger Pockets, online, I don't know. Then they find land investors, and they get the ebook, and they're flies on the wall doing everything backwards and on their own and winging it, for free. You know what I mean? And
That's what we want you to do.
exactly. And then what happens is they're like, okay, I've made some money, now I get it. And then they go, all right, guys, now I'm ready to do this the right way. And then they jump in, and that's perfect. And that's exactly the best thing. Right, Jack?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. So,
The vast majority of the people that are like what I'm going to quote my friend Jill here, who are in our world and, are not part of the group. And so consequently, they're kind of, in my opinion, they're either not ready yet or they don't realize that the tools that we're providing are cheaper and better, and that's fine. We're here to help. That's the truth of it. I just want to make sure that everybody's getting the truthful information, that the real stuff. There's there's a few sources out there that Jill and I come up with once in a while that it's like, man, this person's really just not. It's not that I think they're intentionally trying to deceive anybody. I just don't think they're informed enough to be telling the truth about stuff.
Right. I mean, here's the reality. I was explaining this because we do have a new staff member this week. And I was explaining to her, she's like, okay, what does this $250 a month thing do? And I explained to her what it includes and how much time it saves and all the data and the stuff. I'm like, she's like, oh, okay, I get it. So that's it. So like you said, it's not like some people, if they knew, I mean, come on. We all know people who have downloaded their own data, written their own letters, spent a couple $100s with Munn County, and they have spent 6 weeks and $533, right? And they have it all logged, and they think they saved money. That's where I'm like, okay, I can really help you here, and that's, I think, what you're saying. So yeah. In the training course, Peter asked, Jack mentioned a tax. Jack in the training course mentioned. In the training course, Jack mentioned a course to reach tax delinquent people that gets a 20% response. Is that available somewhere, and is it still valid?
May I?
Please. Yeah, because I can't talk right now. Thank you.
So not so much that there's a course somewhere where you can get 20% response. What I meant to say, probably not so eloquently, in the course was, if you mail only tax delinquent owners who have rural land, you're going to get a 20% response, but you're going to close way less deals than if you mail everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you'll get a 20% response, and the people, they're all going to say some version of, they're going to cry all kinds of stuff. My parents are deceased, but they're on the deed, or you're going to end up trying to solve a lot of problems. And just trust me, and I bet everybody in this group can really, the ones who have tried it already will really say this, I'm sure, reiterate the same thing. You're just better off mailing everybody. I mean, not everybody, but logically mailing stuff the way that we do in chapter 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can I just pause for just a moment and tell you that I'm looking at the conversations in the chat box, and Luke is selling over 20 properties a day.
I know.
Obviously, can't wait for the kids to go back to school. We are all feeling the same about that.
We're Luke, I don't know what's going on in Orange County, but we're like days away from kids going back to school, and I would pay to go early.
Yeah, right? Yeah. No homeschooling here. Oh, no. No, no.
If we homeschooled,
Somebody, yeah.
if we homeschooled the number 3 kid,
Oh my
I would
goodness.
film it because it would end up to be a murder trial.
Oh my God. Who would? Hilarious. Okay. Peter asks, in Arizona, tax liens can be bought over the counter. Is it a good strategy to buy certificates with only 1 year before expiration and then foreclose? How hard or expensive is a foreclosure process, and what are the landmines to watch out for?
Great question. So, like I said, I think maybe not this week, but last week, Mark, oh, it was last week. There's a guy named Mark Manoil who has a book called Persecution and Something. But anyway, he's only written one book. He's a lawyer. He's an attorney. He's an authority on the subject, and specifically in Arizona. And for a while, I made that my whole career. I would buy fully delinquent tax liens. They're 5 years old. This is a truly the way to buy a piece of property for real with the amount of back taxes owed, and then go through a judicial foreclosure process, and then you own the property at the end. So yeah, you can make a whole career out of that.
Mhm.
Are there the same issues you need to watch out for are the same ones that we all watch out for when we send mail? Can we still actually buy the property? Are we buying something that's an undesirable piece of property? The 4A still apply. All this stuff still applies. You just want to make sure that there's a few lien issues that are real specific, but the book is expensive, but it's worth it.
Do you think, Jack, like you were just talking about the strike percentage versus how good are the deals really when you're
No.
buying back tax properties? So that's my thing too.
Well, Peter, here's the deal. I mean, if it was such a good thing, I'd still be doing it.
Yeah.
So it is a good thing,
Sure.
but now you're going out and buying property. And what we have going on here is we send out a bunch of letters, and people who really want to sell their land for pretty cheap send them back.
Mhm.
It's not a lot of work the way we do it. Buying tax liens is a lot of work.
You know what? Can I add? Well, I'm saying, like, can we on the second half of the call, like, can we prepare Luke right now and tell him 15 minutes to get his mic ready
Yes.
and bring him on? Okay, because Luke's a shining example. I mean, Luke is the- Lucas just sent out over 6,000 offers. He shared that with us last week. So it's going to get busy real quick. Luke's not going to 6,000 auctions. He's sending out 6,000 offers and letting the offers come to him.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I'm following along with Peter's logic and Jill's here and Luke's. Um, to buy 100 tax liens, the amount of research that you would the amount of properties that you would have to review. So, just to put this in context, the first time I got a list from Cochise County, Arizona for delinquent tax liens, this is a lot of years ago. They said, "How would you like it?" I said, "Print it out. It's fine." This is before they had anything on the internet at all. And they sent me one of those IBM dot matrix things in 5 boxes, in 5 paper ream boxes. That's how many tax liens. So are you going to sit there and really, I mean, Parcel Fact not makes it a lot easier now to look up a property, but geez,
Mhm.
and you will find some unbelievable properties in there. I mean, unbelievable. But wouldn't it be easier just to send, even if that was the list that you sent to the people and said, you know, I want to buy your property. I don't want to go through the tax lien process. That's what Mark Manoil says right in the beginning of his book. Once you find a property that you want that has a back tax lien on it, send them a letter and just see if they'll sign it over to you. 9 times out of 10, well, 8 times out of 10, they will if they're alive.
Mhm.
So save yourself the agony.
Right. Good stuff.
Luke, how much? This is like a 15-minute.
Yeah, give him a 15-minute warning. Or bring him on.
I'm going to ask Google to do it.
Hey, Google.
Hold on a
Jeez.
second.
Nice. Okay, he's ready when we are.
15 minutes.
Okay. Peter asks. So it is silly. Success rate with mailing LLCs. No first and last name for mail. Well, I have something to say here in just a second. When pulling the data, I also assume these are not mom and pop owners. How to handle LLCs, own land, or just delete from the data list.
I see a trend here.
I wouldn't do that. All of our properties are in LLCs.
I see a Peter trend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do we want to mess with the system?
Yeah.
If you mail, I don't know if there's any difference to directly answer your question. If there's any difference between LLCs and mom and pop owners, my guess is that LLCs might be a little higher, but not significant enough to just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jill and I, because we're releasing offers to owners, I look back at how many letters we sent out, and it's like 1.7 million. And we bought, tens of thousands of properties, almost 16,000 properties this way. So, um, that's a pretty darn good strike rate. We're
Mhm.
getting reports back from people that are getting involved in our program, downloading the data and doing micro mailers for houses and stuff, and it's staggering their strike percentage. So I guess to wrap it up, but I'm not sure. Go ahead, Joe. I'm not sure that. Oh, I thought you were. I'm
Nope,
not
sorry.
sure that I would mess with the system too much.
Okay. Joe asks, with offers to owners now live, can I still use Letterstream to mail a list I have already purchased from RealQuest? I currently have a list I plan to utilize. You want me to answer? You want you to
Go ahead,
answer?
Joe.
Okay, cool. So I'm looking for Jen. I know Jen's on the call right now. If you've not met Jen, please send an introduction hello to Jen, G with a G, GEN at landinvestors.com. Jen is the manager of offers to owners, and she handles all of your stuff. If you have it that far along, fantastic, great, no worries. She's going to process your order super easy. And it's Jen. Let me back up and explain this. Letterstream was never supposed to be doing this stuff for us.
That's what I was going to say.
They accidentally got lumped into it because we weren't ready. We thought we were ready. We weren't. They had such a great offer. We said, great. They said, well, wing it for a couple weeks. That's really all it was supposed to be. Well, we luckily got them to hang in there with us for a couple months. So Letterstream's job is not customer service. They like you guys. They love, I mean, they love doing our mail, but they really don't want to be doing the customer service and the merging and all the stuff that they did.
Letterstream's not a B to C business to consumer business. They don't have any. You can't just go sign up. I mean, and just do a normal amount of mail.
Mm-hmm.
So we negotiated a B2B rate with them, and we're going to handle actually processing the mail merge for you because it's complicated.
Mm-hmm. And here's the good picture now. Now that Jen, for folks that are really like, we just talked about this.
Like 20 minutes before the call.
It's not crazy, everybody. As we're even putting the last tweaks on the website, offerstowners.com. I mean, it's pretty tricky. Uploading the files, doing the mail merge, watching the whole thing through the process. There's a lot that goes through this. So we understand people get hung up on the whole mail merge part. So that's why we have Jen. And Jen's going to be able to do, all full service if you need it. So, and just let me back up too, because I think there's people that are on this call or going to be listening to this call later on. If you don't have data, Jen can pull it for you.
Yeah.
So by the way, this is still kind of in the testing phases, but I don't think Jen would say no. If you could technically call Jen and say, hi, I need everybody with a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a 1-mile radius of this intersection to get this letter. And I want you to scrub out anybody that doesn't have I want anybody that has a mortgage out, that kind of stuff. So this is the beauty of it too. We're taking so much of the work and the guesswork out of it for you.
Right.
You want to add to that?
No, I think you nailed it.
Okay. Thank you. Shamgod asks, curious if you would go into detail about doing your own title. How do you differentiate between warranty deeds, quitclaim deeds, special warranty deeds, etc., when reviewing the chain? As long as there are no breaks in the chain, it's fine. Or should I worry about what kind of deeds they were?
Go ahead, Jill. I mean,
okay.
What do you? I think we're gonna.
None of those. All of
we're
those.
We're gonna agree on this.
All 3 of those are all the same thing. I mean, they're not technically the same thing, but they're all a good way to convey property, and it doesn't worry me at all.
Let me summarize like this. If there's a property, I mean, we break it off at $4,000 to $5,000. If we're going to buy property from, and Luke, I know his threshold is a lot higher. You just don't really have to worry about it that much with this product type. That said, I would never buy a house this way or anything more valuable than a house anywhere. I wouldn't buy a $25,000 house in rural Arizona.
I wouldn't use a realtor, but we'd use
That's
title.
Right. I would use title.
Yeah, use an unrelated third party.
If you're gonna, if you enjoy looking through the chain of title, which is fine, and it all connects, I wouldn't worry. I would worry zero. This is just my opinion. I would worry not one bit about the types of deeds that were used.
And I'll go back, and you have access, I know, Sham God, so you can go back in Title Pro 24/7, which all of our members can see. And you can go back the 30 years if you want to. And as long as special warranty deed to warranty deed, back to special warranty deed, back to warranty deed to quick claim deed, those are all cool. You could those can flip around. So
Here's the reality of it. Let's say you buy property for $4,000, a 40-acre property in somewhere in northern Arizona or southern Colorado or something like that, and it all goes bad. You didn't do your homework. There's IRS liens on it. All right, and you actually have title insurance. You bought it. You did everything right. Are you going to sue the company? Do you want that $4,000 back? Do you know how much it's going to cost to get that $4,000 back? You're never, in the end, you're never going to pursue it. So you're just, the more deals you do, the more you diversify your risk. It's like speeding tickets. I haven't gotten a speeding ticket. I'm knocking on wood right now. I mean, it's been probably 20 years. So the way that I drive, I'm trying to earn a speeding ticket now. I have earned the right to get a speeding ticket.
Oh, it's coming. I know it. It is coming. Totally. All right. Nico asks about First American Title Company for our data.
Oh, are you guys still using First American Title for data for your owners? No. So First American, boy, I bet you or looked way back at our podcast, or maybe I referenced
That's
it in the
good.
package, but First American and CoreLogic were the same company up until, I don't know, 2005, something, 9 or something. I'm not exactly sure. And so we use CoreLogic's data, and First American, they split back then. So I used to refer to using First American data as CoreLogic, which is real close. It's all the same.
Because it was all in the same.
You know, ironic twisted chain of events, Jill just negotiated an unbelievable deal with First American Title's current data company, which is nothing short of amazing. Let me put it this way. If you walked into First AM's data company and tried to get the deal for yourself, it would cost you $20,000 a month. And Jill just negotiated it for us all. We'll release it in about 30 days so we can all have it. Access to that data too.
So I will get there.
3 sources of data instead of two sources.
Michael asks, with regards to the follow-up question, do you folks use MailChimp or Aweber to convert sellers and buyers? You know what's funny? I use Aweber.
We use Aweber.
But I don't use it for this reason. I don't load. Well, wait. Back up. Yes, I do. My Platinum Sellers Club or my Platinum Buyers Club. Yes, I do Aweber to get buyers. So yes, I do.
The fact is, Michael, and this is why it's great to have Luke on the show, because Luke still sells properties to consumers. He's a B2C sale. We wholesale, I don't know, 98% of the deals that we do.
Right.
We just don't. We already know who's going to buy it. We call the person that's going to buy the property from us before we actually buy it when it comes in.
Exactly. So I'm not needing to do that much, but
again,
back in the day, I did.
That's why Luke adds a tremendous amount of like boots on the ground story value.
Well, let me back up here real quick. I just want to add something. Michael, this is a really good idea to put something like this and have an email form on your website and capture those email addresses. And every time you get a new property in, you just blast it out to your buyers. You know, that would be really, that's what I used to do. It's not crazy. So good stuff. Peter asked, any more ideas to search mobile? Peter's really thinking outside the box here.
Yeah.
Mobile home parks. If we searched unimproved land, it may screen out lots with electric and sewer, and those will be the easiest to resell.
That's right.
They may also be hard to get comps. More ideas here are welcome.
This is great. No, Peter, you're totally on the right track. I mean, you've heard us say, I love mobile lots. So yeah, it depends on how the assessor inputs their data. But if you look real hard and spend some time, you'll see mobile home lots. Most of them are designated as mobile. If you get a big enough data set, like in Arizona, you'll see a mobile home designated lot that's 0.008 acres. And on the face of it, it looks silly. Like if you calculated it like the rest of them, you'd send them a $500 offer. But that's not the case at all. You know, it's usually worth a lot more than that. I think if you focus on mobile home property, parks and pads as a career, you're going to kill it. The whole world, real estate world, mark my words, As the middle class shrinks, and it's going to need housing, and mobile home parks and mobile home pads are the single cheapest way to live. So it's not going away.
Mm-hmm. All right. Rod asks, will a title company balk at a judicial foreclosure deed and still insure?
They will bulk big, and they will not insure.
Okay,
How's that for a short
that was
answer?
good.
That's how Jill likes me to
I,
answer all the
I
questions.
kind of do. I'm like, come on, come on. Can we cut to the chase because I want to go have fun. Just kidding.
I wish that were not true. In fact, that's the why you're the
Isn't
girl
that
for me.
funny? You think? Yeah. You guys think that I talk a lot? Oh boy. Okay, Luke. Luke, is it time to bring Luke on yet so he can just answer this? Let's bring Luke's mic's
Yeah,
ready.
sure. Here,
Okay,
hold on.
hang on, Luke.
Look, you can answer your own question.
Yes, please.
All right, man, you're up. Oh,
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Okay. How am I going to answer my own question? I was hoping you guys would answer that.
Okay, I'll read it and
It's
then Jack will answer it.
I could read it or something.
Have you ever heard of or studied universal probate law? It applies to like 15 states and seems like you can process dead people land with an affidavit.
You can.
Trying to figure it out. Guidance would be nice if anyone else has tried
I
in
have.
one of those states.
Yeah,
Cool.
so there's in California is a state, one of the states where it's called for lack of I don't know the exact name of it, but I think it's called like a mini foreclosure or mini probate, or look, you probably know, where you
Yeah,
just you
if the estate's under a certain dollar amount, then you can.
right. That's right.
So
You're
this,
super quiet, Luke.
sorry, see if I can up it. I'll try to speak into it louder.
Okay.
Is that better?
A little bit. Actually, if the listeners could clock in too, maybe it's just quiet for us.
Let me try that. Is that better?
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
much
Oh,
better.
that is good.
Okay, sorry, different setup. Yeah, so this particular state has the uniform probate code, and I was reading about it and said it's the same code across 15 states, and there's probably different dollar amounts that the estate has to be under in the different states, but this is Hawaii I was looking at, and it's got $100,000 kind of limit for this particular property, and or for the estate's got to be under $100,000, and then if the person's dead, their kids or whoever's supposed to get it after them can sign the affidavit that they're supposed to be the one to get the property, and then just record that along with the deed of that person transferring it to you, and it sounds like it transfers the property.
That's 100% true. Jill and I have done a lot of deals like that.
Yeah. So I think it's the same in New Mexico and yeah, just different states. I just never noticed that it was the same rule across 15 different states. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I think we do it I have done it and do it in California a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Michael said there's one in Colorado that's similar to.
Arizona's not one, and I have a database, literally a database full of like 10,000 people that have responded to our letters over the years. And if that same rule applied in Arizona that did it California, we'd be killing it.
Yeah, I think Nevada's another one. You can do that in Nevada.
Super cool.
This new mic doesn't pick up the chickens as good.
I love it. All right.
Or the ocean.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'm gonna read on the questions and we'll all weigh in here. So Kathleen asks, circling back to my question about DIY quiet title action from last week. I did purchase the Manoil book. Oh, that book that you recommended, Jack. But there are very few references to specific quiet title actions. It provides amazing info on the mechanics and academics of tax lien investing. I'm sure Kathleen, this is Kathleen's entertainment reading, I'm sure, in Arizona, but nothing specific to doing a quiet title action. Help. I have a lead on a bunch of parcels that were obtained on treasurer's deeds. I want to pull the trigger, but I need to know how to do quiet title actions without an attorney.
Okay, so a quiet title action and a judicial foreclosure action are like 98% of the same thing. And I'm on a first name basis with Mark. So if you just email him and ask him.
Which Mark are you talking about?
Mark Manoil.
Oh, got it. Cool. All right. So is that the answer?
Yeah, you're going to be shocked at how similar it is, if not exactly the same.
Okay, cool. Dave asks, is this the same Dave that was talking about us at the job fair, I think, last week? That was really funny. All right, Dave asks, do you change your investing criteria when making offers on small portfolios? I'm making an offer on 25 parcels in Arizona in an area where I buy at $600 to $1,000 in each, sell at $4,000. Wondering how to balance my convenience of purchasing on volume versus his convenience of getting all that cash at once. Thoughts? Would you close these yourself or go through title?
This is a Luke Smith question.
Yeah, that's good.
How many properties is he buying? I can't see it on my
25.
25. Yeah. So this is where it makes sense to use title, because you can do title on the whole portfolio instead of doing deal by deal. I mean, maybe I was spacing out. What was the rest of the question?
So 25 in Arizona, it usually buys between $600 and $1,000 each, and then he sells them at $4,000.
So
he's just talking about pricing too.
Yeah. So he's just trying to sell them as he buys them.
No, I think he's trying to talk about on the offer price. Like, come on, I'm giving the guy, which I agree with. I do change my offer price.
Case of beer is always cheaper than a bottle.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So that is the answer, Dave.
Lower the price. Just keep lowering the price. Start looking at per acre prices instead of how many parcels.
Bingo.
Yeah.
The other thing with that is, if you've got 25 properties that are purchased with title insurance, now you've got a wholesale deal waiting to happen instead of piecing them out to consumers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you package them up and sell them off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just in case you don't know, here's the mechanics for the money version of this deal. If you go to buy one property in Arizona through title insurance, let's say it's $1,000, you're going to get charged about $1,200, between $800 and $1,200. If you buy all 25 at the same time and it's the exact same seller, you're going to get charged, I don't know what, like $1,800 maybe? Yeah, so when you divide that number, that $1,800 number, divide by 25, now you're getting some huge value for that title insurance policy.
I haven't seen the price change, like one parcel number versus 25 parcel numbers. I mean, same county, same grantor, doesn't matter. It's the same price through title. That's what I've been running into.
That's awesome.
It's even better.
Yeah.
It's good. Juan asks, hi guys, I'm trying to get all of my county research done, and I wanted to schedule a call with one of you guys before I send my next mailer out. My first one was not a success, so I think I can greatly benefit from your input. With that being said, what do you guys think is the most important factor in selecting a county? I have 9 counties that I'm looking to narrow down to 3 or 4. I have everything from population density, amount of listings and sold properties, average price per acre, etc. in all of these counties. Also, is all this information sufficient to get on a call with you guys, or should I first buy the data for some counties and try pricing some offers before the call? Thanks again for all your hard work and the information you provide.
So there's 2 questions here. How do you select the county? And then the second question is, do I need to purchase the data to really find out if I'm going to mail it? So how do you select the county, Luke? Or do you select the whole state and send 7 million letters out at once?
Yeah, it's a lot more fun just mail the whole state. But it's a lot more
I think I'm going to mail Texas.
This is
this month.
This is Montana month.
Yeah.
You find the cheapest dirt holes in the state real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's a lot more strategic. What I've been doing more recently, like listening to you guys, is doing neighborhoods. You know, if there's Redfin data on those counties, pull it up and look at the neighborhoods. If there's certain areas of those counties that are different prices than others, little nooks and crannies, mail a couple hundred letters to that area, mail 1,000 to that area, and then price the bigger acreage stuff, maybe the bigger acreage stuff is more of a countywide kind of mailer. Um, but I think you can get a lot more selective and narrow with your selection that way, and it makes it a lot easier to price too, because you're looking at this neighborhood, I could price at this, that neighborhood, I price at that, and it doesn't necessarily line up to the size of the property. It's a lot more of the location and what other stuff's selling for in the area, what you think you can sell it for. Maybe this one's green and that one's all rock or whatever, right? Whatever the
Mm-hmm.
particulars are, and you can just get more laser precise if you do neighborhood by neighborhood. And the new mailing program you guys set up, it's a lot easier to do a smaller mailer. You can send out 500 offers instead of 5,000 offers. In the old mailing system, the economics made more sense to just mail the whole friggin' state, and
True.
Yeah.
your economics per letter go down and down and down. You send out 45,000 offers or whatever at a time, and it's like, you get a really good low price. You can call the guy on the phone and haggle a price with him, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the new system, you could just hit the neighborhood, and you don't have to have them all hit the mail at the same time.
Right.
This new mailing system's a lot faster turnaround. Like today's Thursday. If I sent out a mailer today, the phone would probably start ringing, depending on where you're mailing it. Thursday of next week. It's like a week turnaround is what I'm getting off of this new mail system. The old mail system, I mean, it's 3 weeks before the phone starts ringing. So,
Awesome.
and they
For
hit a lot closer together. Like the
for you
old
new
mail,
guys, Luke's referring to letterprinting.net.
yeah.
That's the
Sorry.
old the new system now is offers to owners and LetterStream.
Yeah, letter stream. So letter stream, the letters seem to hit a lot more at the same time. The old system, they would spread out over a long period of time when people got them in the mail. So it was a
Mm-hmm.
lot easier to send out a whack load of mail. In the old system, you get lower prices and spread out over time. In the new system, they hit a lot faster. They hit a lot more at the same time. And the minimums aren't really there. Like you can send 500 or 1,000 letters and you get the same price per letter
Yeah.
almost. There's like a $35 processing fee or something. You could stretch out over more letters if you did
Right.
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more letters, but effectively the same kind of per letter offer, doing little mailers to little bits and pieces of those counties and those areas with very laser precise price. Just do one a day, one a week, or whatever kind of speed you're at, and it's going to be a lot easier to answer the phone.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Thank you. Steve K asked if I want to use First American Title to close transactions in the Northwest states, do you have a contact you recommend that will close in those states? Also, do you know of any title companies that are allowing digital funds transfer that is actually ACH and season allow it to season to be considered secure funds for closing transactions?
I don't have a specific contact up. Back in the day, we would use First American for everything. There's so many mom and pop companies now that do so much of a better job, and the title policies in the end don't matter. It's really how fast you can close a deal and the service that you get. So I would heavily encourage you. We've said this on the air a million times to look at use sourceoftitle.com and see if you can find a mom and pop shop wherever you're buying some property and get a $400 or $500 rate for the whole thing. That's what I would do with that. Even when we go into new areas, I try to find new title companies.
Mm-hmm.
I think seasoning the funds is a totally different topic that they're asking about too. I used to work at a brokerage house and doing ACH stuff. I mean, I'd make mistakes like send out ACH to the wrong person or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Total stupid mistake, but it's ACH. You can get the money back like up to a month later. You just
Wow.
go through the banking system, zing, you don't even have to talk to anybody. You can get it pulled back. And so seasoning funds with ACH is a joke compared to a wire or a cashier's check or other payment methods. That's why title is always going to ask for, a wire, maybe a cashier's check they'll take, but they want wires because
Right.
that gets
Mm-hmm.
there and you can't take it back.
That's true.
I've taken wires back. It's a lot harder, but it's, generally people don't take wires back.
Got it.
Yep.
Yep. Sham God asks, for larger deals that you close yourself, do you have them meet the notary at the courthouse just in case something's off in the deed and needs to be redone?
We don't close larger deals without a
Mm-mm.
title company. Soon to be our title company, by the way. So,
Mm-mm.
but I know Luke does. So what do you do, bud?
I mean, if if I'm selling it, I don't see what the risk is.
Right.
It's the buyer taking the risk, and I usually ask them to pay the fees if they want to go through title, just because I just fees just piss me off so much.
I agree.
I'd rather lower the price and have them pay the fees than have to pay those fees. I'm just going to fight with those people on every single fee. I'd rather it be someone else's fight. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, the
Well,
guys
here's the thing
come
I was
over.
going to add too, Shem
Right.
God, that even though like you're at the courthouse and like, let's just say it's whatever property and I'm selling it to Luke and my notary's there and Luke and the notary walk in and have it recorded and they go, okay, it's recorded. Have a nice day. That doesn't still mean the assessor could find a problem that we missed. It
Yeah,
just
Exactly.
got recorded. That's nice. It still could get kicked back if there's a problem.
that's nice.
So you know what I mean? It's true. It's Daryl's wife who's the recorder stamped it. You know what I mean? But it's kind of true. So it's still that doesn't necessarily remove that there. So I just always try to. Why are you laughing at me?
Because you said that's nice.
Okay. I always just try to have a. You know.
Sometimes I'll land a great deal. This happens probably once every other month with Joe.
Oh.
You know how like a cat goes and makes a kill outside and drags it in and it's all proud. Sometimes I will turn a great real estate deal even for us, and I'll be all proud, and Joe will say, "That's nice."
Jack.
It's become complacent, Joe.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize.
I
I'm not
feel
complaining about
bad.
it. You just crack me up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I, all right. I noted.
Don't change a thing.
Okay.
It's just
I'm
funny.
sorry. You know I'm really proud of you. You know that, right?
No, it's a sign of actually like we've kind of almost arrived because you
I
just don't care
know.
anymore. We make $100,000.
Yeah. This is thank you, Kathleen. I've closed deals at Walmart. Whatever makes your customer feel comfortable. That's good. Peter asks, question for Luke. When you send out 6,000 offers, are you keeping your offers very low as a percent of land value? And can you speak about how you price this many?
Good question. I want to know the answer to this from Luke
Yeah.
too.
This went neighborhood by neighborhood, and then write the formula in there in the mail merge. So if it's this particular, then it's priced like this formula, and if it's that particular, then priced like that, and just drag it out to the whole spreadsheet of them. Some percentage of what the stuff's trading for in the market. I look at what it's been selling for, what other people. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I like to look at if there's other land dealers in the area, what they bought their land for. Um, if they're selling a property for $6,000, did they buy it for $3,000, or did they buy it for $1,000? Because I don't want to go mail out $2,000 offers if the other dealers bought their stuff at $1,000. They could race me to the bottom price wise. I could be sitting there trying to get my money back at $2,000, and they can sell at 1,500 and still cover some costs and stuff, right? So I like to see where the bottom of the market was for the other guys, if anyone else is dealing land in the area. It might even be just they got it off of tax auctions or whatever. But just look back at the data of other properties on the market and what's sold. As much data as I can look at, right? And then even then, after I think I know what I want to offer, I pull the data for that area and look at the CoreLogic data. Each data set is different because it's
Yeah,
different counties, and there's a lot of information in there. You can look at the recent transactions.
right.
There's one neighborhood I pulled. There's a whole bunch of properties that sold at the same price that was the bottom price for that neighborhood. And looking them up and stuff, I mean, none of them are for sale on the market, and it's different people that bought them for those prices. I'm like, geez, I would love to get that price. That's a lot lower than what stuff's for sale on the market. Someone else is doing it. I can too. Just learning from all those pieces of data that go into what price to offer, and making the offer. And even then, people call back and haggle out some price. Like some attributes one way or the other, and I go for some other price, or the taxes are screwy, or there's a dead person involved, or something else to price in. So
How much of it for you, Luke, is art, and how much is it for or equations? Do you like, especially for houses? I just did a large mailer in Southern California for houses, and the amount of data that was available is like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, comparison values and the whole thing. And so I took me a week before I got it in the mail, and about half of it was art. I had equations and stuff, but I ended up really intelligently pricing block by block, because with houses, every block's different, and
yeah,
really checking Google with the amount of information between you can get in a data set and the stuff with Google Maps. It's amazing. I'm at like 50-50 when we do houses.
in this last mailer, I went as far as looking at the lowest assessed value stuff in each one of those pieces of data. I mean, it's multiple data sets that I merged together to do the mailer, but each one of those data sets, if you look at the lowest assessed value ones in there, those are probably the most likely ones to accept my stupid low offer. Do I really want to buy those? And
Right,
some of them
exactly.
are a strip of stupidity that should have never been a property.
Mm-hmm.
And
A strip of stupidity.
yeah, I don't want to buy that. I don't even want to take the call on that guy.
Exactly.
So just like delete those out. I paid for the data, but I'm not going to pay for the mailer. And there's some cutoff as you work your way up from the bottom. It's like, yeah, I'd take that one. I'd take that one. I'd take that one. Okay, we're good enough. I'm not going to stop. Not going to keep looking at them. And you just delete the retards at the bottom, and then look at the ones that have the most
Just say challenged.
challenge.
Just
Yeah,
kidding. I'm just joking.
special. Yeah, they need the help. The ones that have the highest taxes or the highest recent trade values, or look at those kinds of data sets too. Like, there's no way cut off those outliers on the low end and the high end, and I think that makes it a lot easier to make your offers tailored to the homogeneous middle set of the data, and just fire away, see what people say. I mean, there's a lot of people, you make some stupid low offer, they come back to you with higher price. Like, well, I'm not going to pay you cash, but I could do an agreement with you that if I can sell it for more, I'll give you that much money, and they'll do some paperwork without putting money up and take their price. You get the price, I get the terms. We'll take it from there. See if you can
Mhm.
sell it.
When I do non-land mailers, it's all price per square foot for me. And then I test it with reason against a bunch of other. That's what the new programs, the new SFR program, we're calling it around the office, will really address those things in great detail. Even for infill lots in California, we buy it on a price per square foot basis. The quality of the data out here is just amazing.
Mhm. It's true.
Another
All right.
piece of the data is zoning. Sorry if I cut you off, but like some of the counties have really awesome zoning data, and some of the zoning's a lot easier to sell than other zoning. And putting that factor in on pricing, I think, matters a lot too, if you're willing to do that research.
This
Exactly.
is the value that I add to our organization. There's a million things that Jill does.
Jeff.
Like, man, she orchestrates all the other stuff. But when that, and I'm getting the sense that I'm sure it's that way with, well, Luke probably does it all still, but because he's too cheap to hire out most of it. But the real value and what we do for a living is that number that goes on that piece of paper. I think.
Yeah, the
I wish I could
pricing.
just write an algorithm and just run it through there. It's
That
just
is
not.
true.
Maybe someday.
You got to be able to. You see it. You know what, Jack? It's like you have a sense. You have. There must be. It's a seventh sense, and you have it.
What's the sixth sense?
Well, sixth sense. You know what that is. But the seventh sense is a level just above the sixth sense
You
where
gotta.
you see data and you see the numbers come together in a very special way.
That's
And
why I'm.
looking at a spreadsheet, what the strike percentage is going to be. You really know it. You feel it. It's really, I don't know if it's experience or your sense, but it's really good. So I'm going to answer a couple more questions
That's
here.
why I have antennas growing out of my head now.
That's what those are. Jared asks, following up my question for last week, I had a very niche property type I was looking for. less than 10,000 of this type nationwide.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cemeteries.
I asked if I do a nationwide search via RealQuest, and that was a no.
Yeah.
I believe you all told me to try to do one via Title Pro 24/7. Is that
Yes.
correct? If so, that wasn't possible either. Okay, got it.
What?
Okay, so is it a zoning?
Something's wrong.
Okay, wait, yeah. So what is, yes, he likes your cemetery comment. So what, oh gosh, can you, without telling me what it is, Jared, can
Yeah.
you say it's a zoning thing? Is it,
Jill searches for celebrities and the properties that they own nationwide all the time.
and I found an algorithm that'll work. Just kidding. So I'm not sure what, but I'm wondering if my new data source that I'm bringing on is going to solve this problem.
Yes. The new data source is nothing short of fantastic. I wrecked 2 weekends, not last weekend, the weekend before. It wrecked our whole weekend because I got a free pass to our new data set and I was nothing short of staggered.
Okay, let me say something off the record here while I was listening to Jared, because he just put in the answer to us, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, did you really dig down deep in Title Pro 24/7? Because when you open up the stuff on the left and all those search possibilities, I'm thinking you could search by what you're asking for. Those two things, because you can get so darn detailed in there, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
So I wonder, and if not, call Title Pro 24/7 because they are awesome.
Here's the problem that you're going to run into with that, and Luke can attest to this. If these 10,000 properties are, some of them are in rural urban areas and some are in rural areas, the quality of the data that is really, really dramatically different. So, if the 10 assessors before the one that's there now didn't do this one subdivision correctly, no one's ever going to catch up. So you have to be really careful about that.
Yeah, and I don't know how you're going to sort out what type he's trying to do, because if you try to do like county code or state code, land use code, it's different. It's different county by county or state by state. I mean, if it was like 5.019 acres or something really particular, and you did all that size property across the country, I mean, Agent Pro 24/7 or Title Pro 24/7 or whichever one, you do the national search on that and you could find that data set. And I think they max out at like 5,000 records or something. But you could download those records and sort through it from there. So if you had some unique something about what you're looking for that sets it out from the others, that's not a piece of data that's county specific or state specific, I think it would be easier. Like if you knew the name of the person or the company that owns it, or if all the companies that own this kind of land were aviation or something, you're trying to get airports or
missile silos.
Yeah, missile silos of some kind of something in that name that's unique, or some uniqueness about it that you could sort the data to filter those things to the top. And I don't think those data sets are homogeneous enough to do that across the country.
I know they're not. You said it more eloquently than me.
Yeah.
The land use code SFR in LA County is probably completely different by definition than, let's say, like Modoc County, California.
Yeah, or the
incredibly different in New Jersey. It could include SFR could include mobile homes and stuff. So
yeah.
Homogeneous is right. It's not homogeneous.
I mailed properties in this last mailer that were zoned for yurts. I was like, oh hell yeah! People could put yurts on.
What is a yurt?
like like a Mongolian tent, like those round tents. The people always call me about putting a yurt on the property. You could buy them off of eBay for a couple $1,000 and you can live in them, right?
Is it like for outdoor concert facilities if they wanted to have that property used? That's hilarious.
Like, how big is a yurt lot?
It's like,
they were like less than an acre to a couple acres. Some of them are a couple acres, I found. And I don't know if you can build a house on it, but you can put a yurt. They're like specifically zoned for yurts, and I found a couple counties that have them.
Do you know how fast that would sell on LandWatch?
Oh, it'd be gone, right?
You would sell immediately.
Jack, you have a weird friend named Carmen who makes yurts. I'm
There you
serious.
go.
So,
Carmen?
yes, Carmen the masseuse.
Oh, she makes yurts. I
Yes,
know who
she
you're talking about.
does. It's like a teepee
Yeah,
kind of thing.
like a round teepee.
Yep,
You can
totally.
move. You can pick up.
Yeah,
Take
well,
with you.
Why do I
hey,
have a
Luke,
friend?
because she's weird, and she came. I inherited her through you, so it's your friend, Carmen.
Oh, geez.
Okay, all right, let's get on here. We have a few more, and I want to keep going, so we're gonna go a little bit after 4. Okay, so I have anonymous here. It says I'm a real estate broker.
Oh,
What should my letter say? I'm very interested in buying and listing large parcels of land in my local area. So I don't want to send really low offers. I thought about sending a neutral letter saying that we're interested in are you interested in selling your land? Then we can list the land that we don't buy. I would appreciate your input. Thank you.
I think this is a fantastic idea. And to directly answer your question, what you have to put on that letter is dictated by, like everything probably for you, the Department of Real Estate in the state that you're in. I know Arizona and California are pretty serious about what you have to put on there. So I don't know the answer to your local area, but that's it. I think we have other members who are agents and brokers who do the same thing. We also have a lot of members and agents who are investors that, when you can't agree on a price, they just shove it to their agent/broker friend and take a piece of it. So I think you're on the right track.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
I think more what he's getting to is what do your letters look like? And number one, I'm going to say, Jen will give it to you. So if you go,
Oh, what should your letter look like? It should look like what we all send out.
yeah. So here's the whole point. Here's the big picture is, man, we've tested it all. And if you send out any kind of a letter saying, are you interested in selling? You stand to get a whole lot of people that you don't want to talk to because your price and their price, they just don't match and you don't really have time. And like we're talking about Luke. Imagine if Luke sent out 6,000 offers saying, hey, do you want to sell? 5,900 of them would call back. The other 100 are dead. So
that's right, Joe.
That's what would happen. And we can't do that. But we're all sending out, regardless of the size of the property, whether it's a home or a piece of dirt or even apartment building, we're giving these people real, actionable, well thought out offers. And if they're in the ballpark, then they'll act on it. If it's nothing they care about, they'll throw it away. That's fantastic. And that's what I want. If someone says, oh my gosh, I would never even think of selling this for less than $1 million, period. I mean, my price is more like 3.
It's a wasted conversation.
I'm not even going to call the guy. And that's what you want to weed out.
Yeah.
I get a lot of those letters for my neighborhood. And I think the ones that make the most sense are the ones that tell you about recent transactions in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Like, have you noticed the price in the neighborhood went up like double in the last 2 years or whatever? This is what your neighbor just sold their house for. Do you want to sell yours? I could represent real estate. He's trying to get listings. He's not trying to buy it.
Right.
If he gets those listings, he start opening up all kinds of leads for other people coming through the door, and open houses and everything else. But just landing the listing with people that are rational about the prices that are happening in the area. I think if you give them data, which you can get off the same data sets that this program offers, you could. I think those letters are better delivered. The ones that I see coming through, realtors pitching their services.
You know what? And that's a perfect point. This is another way to look at this. Okay, for our broker question here, you could send out offers knowing that, hey, if anything, I'm going to get some listings out of this.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then B, if something comes along my plate and it's really, really good, I'm going to buy it, man. I'm not even going to list it for somebody. I'm going to buy it outright. That's not crazy.
Then sell it.
That's a good, and to take it one step further, this is the stuff that we are starting to offer that we will pull the data for you. So if you don't have the data, if you have the data and you have a letter, you're ready to go, hey, we'll put it together and get the mail for you. No problem. But if you don't even have the data, you're just saying, this is the area I want to hit, and this is the size of properties I want to hit, and this is my letter. Will you pull the data and put it all together and get it out? Yep.
Yeah, I missed one word. He said he's interested in buying and listing large parcels. I was thinking about listing, not buying. I mean, you still put the price in there that you want to buy.
You got to put the price in there.
Yeah, you got to put the price in there.
You're going to get killed.
And then if they want some higher price, then work on listing it instead of buying it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Jill and I gave a talk to agents and brokers a while ago, and I promised her I would never do it again. So, and my hat's off to you, anonymous broker, because you get it. You get how to use this for that. You're very much in the minority. For some reason, real estate agents don't have the investor mindset at all. They just want to make money off of somebody else's deal. So, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome to the call in the group, no matter
Yeah,
what level you are.
totally. Okay, Michael has a question for Luke. What do you remove from your list?
I think I talked about this a little bit
Yurts.
just recently.
Not yurts.
I found yurts. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go hit all those properties. Um, the yeah, I removed the weird stuff. Like sometimes properties come up with no taxes, zero taxes, and that sounds perfect. But look at it, and you'll start seeing why.
Yeah.
You know, those kinds of properties, really high taxes, really low assessed values, really high assessed values out of the data sets. I look at them, you know, pull them up on Parcel Fact or something and look at them, see if they make any sense. If they don't make sense, I start cutting them out. U.S. government,
Yep.
county this,
City.
county that, city, yeah, city this,
Hospital.
city that. Yep. International addresses, they don't have a zip code or, you know, a state that makes any sense. Like, get rid of you. Just, you know, sort by those columns, get rid of duplicates. I still haven't found a really good, easy solution to mailing a combined letter to somebody that owns a bunch of properties. Um, I'm sure I could do it if I spent the time, but it works just sending one letter to somebody that owns one property and then talking about all their properties when they call. So I just keep doing that. So I cut out the duplicates. And I like to sort the duplicates, you know, formula it so the lowest assessed value or the lowest tax one, same idea, gets the letter and not the highest assessed value or the highest tax one out of the list
Cool.
that the guy has. Stuff like that. Remove those things. I don't know. I'm probably missing some, but that's your basic idea of what to remove.
Awesome. Thank you.
Do you keep industrial?
No, I mean I've done industrial in some counties. Like you pull some data and look at it. Um, like Imperial County, for example. I mean they're out to lunch with their codings of what they zone everything. I mean just about everything's commercial. You can build whatever you want. Industrial thrown in there. So I think it depends on the county. I usually no. I don't
Cool.
don't I haven't messed with the industrial ones.
Do you have a hard and fast? I want to ask Luke a bunch of questions, Joe,
Okay.
about sorting because this is all I do. So,
Yeah.
do you have a hard and fast set of rules, or do you get into the data and do you really decide after you see it?
Yeah, I just go column by column, right? I just go down the data set and see if there's anything that I could sort out looking at that data set. Like there's different pieces of data in each county. I don't know how better to explain it. It's like 386 columns or 384
Right.
columns or whatever it is. There's a
Mhm.
whole bunch of columns there, and they're not all full of stuff in every
Right.
county. I don't think they're all full in any county, but some
Right.
counties have a lot more than others. And look at the ones that have the data, and you don't know which ones have the data until you pull it. You don't have to pull it all. I mean, you could pull 10, 20 records and get a taste of what they have and sort your searches and, you know, get a more accurate search off of when you know what kind of data they have or not. But yeah, just go column by column and study it. What does it make sense? Could I use this information for something? And it might not be that mailer, but it might be the next time you mail in that county. You could do just that zoning code because that county puts the zoning codes in there where most of the counties don't. And it's
Right.
a really obvious, easy to sort kind of zoning thing. You could search by zoning and just mail that zoning of, you know, that price and different zoning, a different price, you know, price them accordingly. Um, yeah, it's just looking at each column and
Me too.
taking it from there.
So, as just ballpark, if you scrub pretty well and you download the data set, how many letters do you think after you're done, you got it in Excel as a percentage do you actually get in the mail?
Yeah, so like desert squares, it's more like 50% or 55% because I think it scrubs down a lot more. You know, a guy that owns a desert square owns a dozen of them. Big trees, little roads and stuff like that kinds of properties. Um, Guy that owns one of those owns maybe two. He doesn't own
Mhm.
10. And those areas, I mean, you might scrub it down to 70 or 80% of your data set. And so you see a different number depending on what kind of countryside. And yeah, it's somewhere between 50 and upper 70s in the much more unique land kinds
It's
of
real hard
places.
for me to communicate that to people who are new at this. They think that if you download 10,000, well, 1,500 records, that you're going to send out 1,500 letters. And
No.
that's just a super bad idea. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Not so much because of duplicates, just because there's stuff that you miss in the scrub. I mean, the
Yeah.
data is the cheapest part of this. You don't want to screw up the mail. You can screw up a lot of data, but not, and I shouldn't say screw up, just scrub.
How many times I've had that problem or that learning curve and I don't learn it. It's I pull data because I start backwards. I'm like, okay, I got this much capital to put to work, and with that much capital, I'm going to need to get this many properties of that kind of price, and I'm going to need this much data to get them. I go backwards from the amount of capital I'm trying to place, and work into getting the data, and I get the data, and then it's like I scrub it down. I don't have enough to get that much capital to work.
Uh-huh.
The kinds of success ratios I think I'm going to get off the mailer. And then I go back and I look for more data, different neighborhood, add on a different county, a different subset. Maybe some of the bigger properties, maybe some of the smaller properties on either side of the ones I was mailing, maybe a higher assessed value slice or something, and just keep adding on slice of data, slice of data, slice of data until I get it boiled down to how many mailers I want to do. So it's like an iteration to really get there. But I think if you started out with about twice as much data as you really want to mail, um, you'd have a lot higher success rate. I mean, you don't have to mail the whole every successful piece in there if your budget doesn't call for it. Maybe you mail 90% of the good looking ones or something.
So
But I think
you start with capital needing to be placed for a month, something like that.
yeah, off of this mailer, capital ready to go. I want to put this money to work like right now. Let's
We start with, I want to do one or two deals a month, and I want to make X and Y dollars. I want to make 100 grand or 200, quarter million bucks per month. And that's how I go backwards from that.
I think that's a better way of doing it. Um,
I don't know. I like, I don't
both
know.
have both have
You got me
pros
thinking
and
now.
cons. Yeah, there. I mean, going through tons and tons of deals like I've been doing, I keep saying it's time to go for bigger properties. It's time to go up market. It's time to make more money per deal, and get more accurate on the hit rates and just the numbers and everything. Even if that is a whole bunch of title paperwork and more due diligence, more picture taking guys, people on the ground, whatever it takes to pull off those bigger dollar deals and more comfortably and make them happen. I haven't made that leap into the much bigger dollar deals. A
Hmm.
lot of the offers I just sent out are around $5,000 kinds of offers, and 4, 5, 6 grand kinds of offers, and thousands and thousands and thousands of them. But it's not $25,000 offers. It's not $100,000 offers. It's not $500,000 offers. Like I could be doing with my time and probably making a lot more money per hour, per effort, per whatever kind of matrix you put to it. Um, Maybe I don't have the nerve to do it yet. I'm just walking my way into it. I think I'll get there. It's just,
It takes that first deal. That's it.
yeah, I got to break the ice somehow.
Hmm.
Mm, good stuff.
And there's no wrong way to do this. There's so many ways to go at it and so many different product types. But for whatever reason, right now, that one just makes the most sense to us.
Yeah.
Hmm. I like this. This is good discussion. The only wrong thing to do is not do it, is talk yourself
Yeah.
out of it and waste a lot of time. I think if you just go for it. I see people getting hung up on, they want to make sure their desk is beautiful and their cards are printed the right way and everything's great. Okay, let's do this. Let's send out the mail and open the doors. No, get going, get some money coming in. And you'll figure it out, and you will make mistakes. So.
That leads me into what Offer Storm really is. It's a way to help get past that bottleneck of getting that first mailer in.
Yep. Can I ask? Okay, Luke, what was your most recent big oops? We all have them.
Yeah. Like big oops.
Yeah, like what's something you went, oh man, I won't do that again, because we all have them.
I got this option deal, and I sent the contract to the lady to sign, and I had girls that helped me on stuff, VA style, make an ad for the property. Because I want the option comes in one hand, I want the ad going out like at the same time. I want it printed up, ready to go. And they sent the ad out for the property before I got the option back, and like 12 people want to buy the property, and it's like everyone's like sending cashier's checks and paying.
This is your big oops.
This is awesome.
This is your big problem.
I don't have the property yet. So,
gee, darn.
I don't know how to pick like who gets the property.
Oh,
like,
I didn't know how to pick the buyer.
Yeah, I got more of the same kind of property coming, so I'm like doing a dance between them all, saying I got more coming. I got more. I think I do them at the same price, and I got to finish the paperwork on them. Like they said they'd sell, but I haven't even got the cashier's check to them. I don't even have the deed going out to the notary yet.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I just sold a whole bunch of them that is like never going to hit the website.
Darn, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. It's like the middle dance. I almost feel like I'm lying. I'm trying to tell them the truth,
Right.
But it's like you're paid, but you don't know what property you're going to get, and like it's look the same. Trust me. And if not, I'll give your money back. But
there you go.
So you're going to hit that area with another mailer harder?
Raise the price on the mailer.
Yeah,
exactly. Again. Yeah.
Good.
The mailer.
Do you want to answer these last questions, Jack?
Yeah, I still have more questions for Luke because this is fascinating for me.
Do you know if the new data source is going to be extra per month? Have we decided?
We've built our costs in, and we have not decided, Michael.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, we haven't decided yet.
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that. So, all right, now, and then Peter was saying, on the closing letter, is 30 days out from the mailer effective, or would you give it a bit more?
A bit more. What do you do, Luke?
Yeah, I like
go 90.
End of the month. Yeah, 90 days sounds good. I don't really go that far out, but like I like towards the end of the month on a Friday. I always pick a Friday. I don't know why. I just put a Friday on there, and if today's the 15th, I'd go next month for Friday closest to the end of the month, like month and a half, maybe 2 months.
Like
towards the end of the month on a Friday seems to be my favorite end date, but really the date is a joke. It doesn't matter. I mean,
yeah. Like how often does somebody call you and say, hey, my offer expired last week. Will you still honor the deal?
All the time.
It happens to us.
Expired last
almost
year,
daily.
Whatever. Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, my offer expired 10 years ago. Will you still honor it?
Yeah.
That happens all the time too.
Yeah. Buyers too. Buyers call back and they're like, oh, we're going to do this terms deal and I never got back to you and blah, 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 blah. Can I still buy it? Months and months later, property's long gone. I sell them some new property. Yeah.
Look, what's the biggest spread? Your gross your gross margin. So not revenue, but gross margin on a deal that you've done to date. Just one piece of property.
Dollars or percent?
Dollars.
10%. 11K to 53K. I think that was a pretty good dollar spread.
That's awesome.
On one offer?
On one deal. You made 42 grand on a deal, right?
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not all my money. I had a partner on the deal, so I split up the profits, but yeah, I sourced it and sold it. The percentage. I mean, some of these.
What's 11K to, that's
42,000.
percent?
Oh,
No,
no, but it's a different on a percentage. You can't. I mean, I can't calculate.
That's
We've done deals that are. You can't calculate it.
how many % is that?
Yeah. Some of them, the percent gets ridiculous. On some of them, you buy the property for $25 or something,
Yeah.
for $2,500 or whatever, and it's like, yeah, some stupid percent number.
Right.
Those are fun though. Those are good deals. But I like doing volume on those. Buy them at $25 or $50 and sell them for $500 or something. Yep. Sell lots of them.
Exactly.
We got a couple more questions, Jill, or not?
You want? Okay.
It's up to you.
I
don't know if we have them.
I have two. I'm gonna let you, Jack. I'm gonna answer these. I'll ask these, and Jack and you, Luke, answer. So Luke is speaking about downloading. Chuck asks. Luke is speaking about downloading data from county websites. I'm trying to understand how he starts the process and what he asks for.
Should clear that up a little bit. Not the county websites. The data system that these guys provide. CoreLogic, Agent, or why can't I think of the name of it?
Title Pro.
Title Pro.
Not Title Pro. I don't download data from there to do mailers. I do CoreLogic stuff.
Yeah, RealQuest Pro.
RealQuest, sorry. Yeah, RealQuest.
Yeah, that's it.
You put the county that you're searching for data into their system, and then there's a whole bunch of different parameters you can search. And the parameters are populated or not, depending if the county data has them or not. The county data is in that system. And the benefit of that is this system takes the county data, which is weird looking from every different county. It's different formats. And they put it into a format that is the same across the country. And so when you're doing a search in one county, you can do that same kind of search in another county. When you pull data from 5 different counties, you can merge that data into one spreadsheet, and the name of that person is all in the same column. The address of that person, it's all in the same column. The assessed value of that property, it's all in the same column. If all these different pieces of data are lined up in the same column, so you can sort and you can slice and dice and do formulas and stuff. And if you pulled that data from a county, like if you called them and ordered their CD or something, it's totally different from every county. Good luck.
I would heavily encourage you to do that, Chuck. Please order a CD from a county and then see what you get.
If you do it once, you'll never go back.
See how far you get.
That's true.
See how many calls you got to do to get the data, and see what paperwork you got to do to get the data, and fees you got to pay, and forget it.
And the quality of the data.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The quality is not the issue. It's the format, like Luke said.
Yeah.
Yeah, format sucks.
It seems like back in the day, too, some of them, depending on who sat down and pulled the data, they didn't include all the columns of the things that I wanted. They would miss stuff.
There's people in our industry that really advocate hiring a virtual assistant to do this for you, which really, truly, honestly cracks me up. Because the data set that you get back from that VA, it's too easy for a VA to just lop off 60% of it if it's too hard to aggregate. So you don't really know what you're getting, and you're wasting your own time
and money
and mailer money. The data itself is cheap compared to the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good
so try it
question.
both ways, and then you tell us.
Yeah. Chuck said thank you. Okay, should we make this our last one real quick?
Sure.
Okay.
Unless Luke has anything else.
Yeah, well then let me answer this and we'll get wrapped up with Luke here. So you know what? Yeah, you can. I mean, Chuck, reach out to Jen.
Read the question, Jill.
Okay, Chuck is asking, will we still be able to do our own mail merges and send in a PDF file as we can now for a better price with LetterStream?
No. So LetterStream has, like Jill said early on the call, was never intended to deal with you, the consumer. They were only ever meant to deal with us. But there's a 3-cent spread now to cover our costs. We're still way cheaper in the industry, and there's nobody else in the industry that's actually going to give you the help that we do. So that whole thing that happened with LetterStream was kind of an accident, and we believe that the customer service piece that you're going to get and the help that you're going to get during the data download itself grossly outweighs 3 cents a record.
Okay. Thank you yes. Okay, I have something really, really cool I want to add. Oh, we have a few more things that were coming in. This is awesome. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I want to follow up. Jared, hope you don't mind me sharing this. So Jared and I were talking a little bit offline about, he's trying to scrub for a very specific thing. And he said, I just figured out how to do it.
Oh, good.
Per
Good.
state. Awesome. I'm like, yay. So yeah, I wrote Jared and I said, I hate to tell you this, but maybe spend a little more time there. And he's like, and so he went back in and he's figured out how to do it.
How much time do you spend? That leads me to
Yay.
another question
I'm
for
so
Luke.
happy, Jared. Thank you for sharing
How much
that.
time do you really spend in a spreadsheet, pricing stuff and working it before you send it to the printer, Luke?
I mean, it depends on the mailer. Like this last one took longer because it's lots of different data sets, different states and things I was putting together. And so I spent from like, I don't know, 9:30 at night to like 2 a.m., whatever that is, like that kind of time chunk to get it into the mailer. From start to finish, like, okay, I'm going to do a mailer, figuring out what markets I'm going to mail, prices and data and scrubbing and merging and mail merging and running it all and giving the PDF to the mail company.
Mm-hmm.
Putting in my credit card information, everything. So
it takes me
4.5, 5 hours.
I spend probably 2 days. Not joking.
There you
Even
go.
at this level, I just want to make sure it's right. But then it just comes back like a dream,
Yeah, there's a lot of things to go through. I mean, you could spend months on it if you really wanted to.
Right.
I'd rather just get on the phone with these people and start working it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anonymous asks, what are the top 3 to 5 sites to post land for sale?
Like lead wise, I think for me right now it's Land and Farm. I get the most leads from Land and Farm, and then Land Watch, and then YouTube's coming right in there. It might even be more than Land Watch for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then not too far below that, Land Pin is a part of this program. You get it on Land Pin and get deals off of there too. I probably get more deals off of Land and Farm because I pay for a bunch of promotional spots over there. And Land Watch has been dropping off a
Yeah,
lot
it really
over the
has
last
for us
year.
too.
Gee. Sorry.
We still get a ton of action on Craigslist, no matter what we post.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cool. But I love social media stuff. Thank you for chiming in on that. So Matt. Hi, Matt. I got to talk to and meet Matt on the phone last week. Matt asked, how long does it take to sell land? How long is too long to hold on to it? You want me to
And we're
answer?
all silent
We're all
about
silent.
sales.
How long does it take to sell? Okay, how long is too long?
Let's hear what Luke
okay,
says.
Luke says, okay.
Yeah, I wish I had an answer there.
Me too.
I got one that I bought in October of last year that's still up for sale. I think that's the oldest one in inventory right now. I thought I've had it sold numerous times and it keeps coming back, and I think that's too long. It's getting close to a year. I think that's way too long.
Do you have any idea what it is?
Yeah, 160 acres, New Mexico.
Imperial County.
Oh,
Is that bombing range in Imperial County you've talked about?
Yeah, I got a bombing range. I got a missile range in New Mexico for sure. Yeah, this 160 acres. It's like, I don't know.
Are you going to split it up?
I talked to the county commissioner about splitting it up, and he basically said I can't. If I was like a local and selling off pieces, I could sell off a piece every year. I could sell off a chunk. But he really discouraged it. That's why there's not very many properties in this county, and he doesn't want people like me splitting properties. Basically, what he said.
Yeah, you're an evil yuppie from Scottsdale.
Yeah,
exactly. Got it. But yeah, some of them, I mean, it varies so much, Matt. I think that's I hope that you're hearing that in all of our voices because some of them, like Luke, he sold it before it was even his name. It was on accident, and some of them, like Jack and I, we try to quote unquote sell them before we have it. We already know we build up buyers who's going to buy a lot of this stuff. And then, yeah, too long, usually there's a reason why if it's not selling, and the most common ones are
Price.
yes, you paid too much for it initially, so now you're trying to recoup that, so it's overpriced. And B is
Yeah,
Jack.
the people don't know about it. The
Yeah,
right people don't know
Yeah.
about it. So what do you
reach.
think on your property there, Luke?
Yeah, access. I got to figure out the access better, like getting in and out of that property, and like detail how to get in and out of there. Like if I could get some picture dude to drive over there and figure out the access, and maybe make a video driving in there or something, right?
Mm,
Something about the access. And there's a stream that runs through it, and showing how much water flows through there, and it's like water on 160 acres next to a river. Um, there's a lot of good stuff about it. Just showing off the good stuff about that property. I got to do a better job of showing it off. I just keep thinking it's sold and it doesn't actually sell.
yeah.
Cool. So you never do, yes. Wade asks, brand new to raw land and jumped in the pool before I knew how to swim. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I just
That's the Joe way.
that's a good way. I just sent out my first letters to surrounding counties with a list from Agent Pro 24/7. Starting off, should I send an open offer or an exact dollar amount? I have only sent out 22 letters with open offers, but I have another 100 getting ready to go out this week. Jack?
You should do both if you're brand new. Wade, it sounds like you're brand new. You should send 100 out. Just I'd like to I'm interested in buying your property, and send 100 out with an actual dollar amount. And I'm extremely confident that one of those two are going to work out for you, and the other one's just going to be a mess.
You'll know which one it is.
But no, we don't. In this group, we don't send letters of interest, is what I call it out. We send out actual purchase offers.
That's what we're talking about too, Wade. We get real specific about the data. I mean, this is all strategic. This is not just guessing.
Yeah.
So, and that's why Luke does so well, and he does 20 deals a day, or sometimes 50 deals a day.
Did you do 20 deals a day?
50 deals a day. 50. Right, Luke?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, I've sold more than 50 properties in a day.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
I don't think we've ever done that.
So here
I'm not joking.
So what does Luke do? Exactly what we do, which is get strategic, and like Luke's talking about, get it down. He's sharing all his tips about what to throw out, what to keep in, all the different things that you look at, and then go for it, kind of thing. So
yeah, price them right. I mean, you put a stupid low price on there that's like a knee-jerk reaction buy, and people don't even ask questions. They just check out online. Done.
Right.
Yeah.
We make a I like making YouTube videos about them. The answer a lot of the questions that people ask me about these properties, just put that on there and tell them in the video, click this button to buy it, click right here and show them, and fill in your title information, and I'll do all the paperwork, pay all the fees, everything, get it in your name, just like really smooth, easy transaction, and go for it.
All right. Okay, so then also Wade says thank you for the info and listening to the podcast. I'm gonna answer this other question of Wade's for Luke here. So Wade is also asking about the right price. His guess is 15 to 30% of assessed value. Jack and or Luke,
go ahead,
Luke. Answer that? Okay.
This is to sell the property. He's trying to buy, right? He's the new guy trying to buy. Well, making offers, right price. Okay, yeah. So assessed value, just don't think about assessed value when it comes to making the offer, because I mean, if you look at the assessed value, especially the statistics of the distribution of assessed values of the properties in your area, in your county, for example, if you look at how many 5-acre desert squares in this county are priced, between this assessed value and that assessed value, or look at the whole population of how many properties in that county have that particular, vacant 5-acre square, for example. And then look at the county next door. How many properties, vacant 5-acre square, same stupid square, boring, basic desert thing.
Right.
And look at the assessed value. One county, 80% of the properties, probably like $5,000 and below assessed value. The county next door, probably 80% of the properties are $100,000 and below assessed value. How does that make any sense? The
Right.
distribution of assessed values on those properties is totally different metric. It
Mhm.
has no logic. And if you look at the market price of what you could sell those 5 acres for, you look at what they're selling at the cheapest to whatever market in each county, they're probably the same because they're right next to each other and it's the same stupid 5 acre square. Um, that assessed value doesn't make any sense. Just stop thinking
Exactly.
about it that way
Well
Right.
said.
and look at use the assessed value to pick out the most likely properties in that county that'd be willing to sell to you for the stupid cheap prices that you're willing to offer. And it probably the bottom 5%. You probably get a really high hit ratio. You probably don't have any records there, but the bottom 10% probably still really high hit ratio, and you get more records. The bottom 20% probably starts making more sense. The bottom 50%, I like the bottom 80%. Just skip the top 10% people. You got a better shot in there getting some sweet properties along with
Yeah.
the really boring basic ones,
Mhm.
and you get a mixture of them. So use that assessed value as a way to sort quality and properties and not how much you're making the offer for. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
you could use it as the bottom 10% you're offering this much, and then 10% to 50% you're offering this much,
Hmm.
but it has nothing to do with that dollar amount that they put in there, the assessed value. It's where they rank in the count over all the assessed value properties. It makes any
I
sense to me.
completely concur. This is for land only, though.
Land only, yeah.
Right. It was awesome. What? Oh, Mitch asks, what number do we call to order the data and mail out the letters, etc.? Thanks. 800
725.
8816.
We can do it in stereo.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Should we yeah,
Yes.
okay, we're gonna answer one more with Sham God here.
And
And then
here's why
okay.
we're going to wrap it up with Sham God, because he is the master of
Yeah,
landinvestors.com. You're Sham God.
All
Thank
over.
you.
He's
You
all
provide
over
a
that
tremendous
site.
amount of insight and great questions, and you generally raise the bar on that community website. Thank you.
he's
Seriously.
doing a lot. Yep. All right. He asks, I've got an issue with the deal I'm closing I'm trying to close tomorrow. I've got someone at the courthouse now, like now, I'm just kidding, that I found off Craigslist trying to pull records, and they're not helping them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Courthouse.
They wouldn't let me do anything over the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Title Pro only went back 5 to 10 years. Is there anything else I can do here? Do you just gamble on these? They're also saying to go through a title company,
Mm-hmm.
that's the courthouse saying that, with questions on recording the new deed. I assume if we hand them the new deed, they're going to have to, they'll record. Yeah, they'll record anything, really. But not sure what to do if we run into issues with it, ever run into anything like this, and what would you do?
Well, I appreciate your, how Jill, you say, don't wait till your desk is all perfect and your business.
Yeah.
He just jumped in.
She did. He's
So I think this
awesome.
is just my opinion. And since we have Luke on the phone here, I'd love to hear his too after this. I think you're worrying about nothing. I think you should get him out of that courthouse right now and try to get the deal closed. It sounds like you don't need to do title, and 5 to 10 years back is fine. So I really think that it's probably okay.
You know what I would do too? I would keep an
trying to get a
open
deed.
communication.
He's trying to get a legal description to like write up a new deed, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh,
That's my understanding. He
Well,
doesn't
no,
have a deed.
Title Pro only went back 5 to 10 years. So he's got something.
Okay.
I think they're in the county trying to find out whether or not the title's clear.
I think he's trying to go back
Gotcha.
beyond 10 years to confirm everything's cool. And I got to tell you, Shem, God, if I were in your shoes, and there's a lot of variables here. How
Yeah,
much is it?
exactly.
Is it $2,000 and it all goes sideways and I'm out $2,000? Oh, well.
Yeah.
I'm really okay with that. Because I'm going to close 6 more next week and it's not going to be a big deal kind of thing. The other thing is, do we have a really good dialogue with the seller, and everything? If something is goofed up and you need to come back for another document or or there was something. I mean, I don't know. What does your gut say? I hate to say it, but is your seller legit? And all that good stuff. Can you do your little homework on them?
I bet you'll never close a deal in the title in the county hall again.
Yeah.
That's my other brother.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple variables there, but you know what? I gotta wonder too. You know what? Here's my last comment then. If you have a person there trying to pull data, and you can go back 5 to 10 years, but for some reason it's not sitting right, then I might not do that deal. Is that okay to say?
Sure. So I mean, that's just the way we're all different,
Yeah. So there is a red flag that you're picking up on. Then maybe you should send everybody home and keep your money. So
if the deeds have been recorded 5-10 years ago, and there's no complaints, there's no problems coming up. I mean,
nothing was built on it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing to have a mechanic's lien or anything good.
Vacant land, not a house.
Yeah.
I'd be more inclined to run with it. Same thing as, depending on the dollar size. But if you feel comfortable backstopping that deal, if it goes bust on you, the dollar size you're working out, just run with it.
That's what I think. God, thank you. This is actually fun because this is like really happening really right now. He's like, yeah, they're texting me at the courthouse. Yeah. He said he's a mix of looking for deeds, 30 years plus, making sure I get the right legal description when I record. You want I trust the last legal description, honestly. I only ask for the vesting deed, especially if they own the property for 10 years. The assessor would have caught something by then if that deed was wrong.
Yeah.
So I do trust the most recent recorded deed, which is called the vesting deed. The seller's going out of town tomorrow for a while, and they won't tell me if they're liens, and there's nothing built on it, though. So then it just really comes down to your gut, God, and how much money could you lose, I think. Even though I'm serious, why are you laughing at me? If there is, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be fine.
I really think that it's going to be fine.
Okay. You know what, God? I would do this deal.
So
if he's got the legal description. I mean, I don't think you should go get the deed signed off and pay the guy without finding the legal description on the property. And you keep searching, you'll probably get it someday, but I'd want to get the legal description before you go pay the guy.
Yeah.
So some kind of record there. If you found something in the last 5 or 10 years, it's got a legal description, great. But if it's, he's still looking for the legal description going back 30 years, not getting stuff, just wait.
Yeah, then if you have it, yes. If you don't, then you might have to get him when he gets back in town.
Yeah.
That's true.
And there's CoreLogic usually has more of the titles, deeds than Agent Pro or Title Pro. They charge like $8 or whatever, but I mean, you just click on it, and if they pull up the credit card charge thing, they got it. And if they pull up an error message, they don't. That thing's got the legal description on it. 99% of the time, it's the right document. And just pay the $8 and get it. Stop dicking around at the courthouse.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, thanks everyone. We're going to call it a day. We went over this time, but everybody stuck with us, it seems like. So thank you.
That's awesome.
Luke, thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Good to have you back. Love the new headset.
How it works. Talk to you later.
Bye. Same time next week. Thanks.
Have a good week, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.